Remember, folks, I'm just a Muppet in a chair. Don't take me seriously. How's it going, Boomerites? It's good to see you again. Welcome back. Look, I'm a huge Ricky Gervais fan. For those of you who have followed the channel quite thoroughly over the past couple of years, you guys know that not only am I a big Ricky Gervais fan, but I have been for long before I started this channel a couple of years ago. So if there's a video out there of Ricky Gervais and I haven't seen it, chances are I'm going to click on it. So that leaves us to where we are now. This is Ricky Gervais on England versus America. I believe he's going, it's not really a comedic setting, but he's going to be explaining the difference between the comedy styles between England and the United States. So it's always, and even with Ricky, like even if he's not doing funny stuff, I could just listen to him talk all day. So let's see what he has to say on England versus America. I'm assuming he's talking about comedy. It's like, I'm like 90% confident that's what he's going to be talking about. But like, subscribe, do whatever you guys want, and let's see what he has to say. Here we go. This is brought to you by Big Think. I'll leave a link for their channel in the description below this video.
No, I don't change it. I mean, the difference, you know, if we're talking about the big two, Britain and America, sorry, rest of the world, that's not true. That was a joke. But the difference between English or British humour and American humour, it's usually in the production as opposed to the finished article and how it comes across. But if there is a difference, and I suppose I'm not an expert, it's all guesswork, but just take something that I've been involved with, the Office transfer, the remake, the American remake. Well, it's different. They're slightly smarter. They've got better teeth. They've got more ambition. It's slightly broader. But the big difference is that Americans are more optimistic, and that's due to the fact that Americans are told they can become the next president of the United States, and they can.
Let's be honest, though, and I think I can speak on behalf of 99.9% of Americans. None of us want that job. None of us want that job. It's just, it seems like such a hassle to be the president now. But like 50 years ago, yeah, you were told that, and it was something to strive for in some sense, I guess. But nobody tells their kids that now anymore. But there is the 0.1% left, which are usually it's usually a bunch of maniacs in that demographic who strive for that position, and which is the reason why we get these candidates that you guys look at and go, what the fuck are they doing over there? We say the same thing here. But anyway, I digress.
British people are told it won't happen to you. The fact that Americans are told they can become the next president of the United States, and they can. British people are told it won't happen to you, and they carry that. They carry that with them. We champion the underdog. We champion the underdog,
which I love,
to the point where he's not an underdog anymore, and he annoys us.
I like that. You champion the underdog till he's not the underdog anymore, and he annoys us. I fucking love that. But I've always been the same. Maybe that's why I gravitate towards this more, because I always cheer for the underdog in whether it's, you know, somebody trying to strive for something bigger in everyday life, or sporting events, particularly sporting events. If you got a team that's dominant and then a team that nobody expects to win, I'm always rooting for them. If you got an individual, let's say a boxing match, you got the heavyweight champion of the world, and then you got some guy who nobody's heard of and nobody's giving him a chance. I'm always rooting for that guy. You know, I've always been that way. So maybe that's why British humor is rubbed off on me a lot.
I, from somewhere, had this strange, unjustified belief that it would be all right. Maybe I was born American. I always thought it'd be all right. I just thought it'd be fine. I always knew I'd do what I wanted to do, and I always have. So I don't know, really. I'm not saying that I don't have fears and anxieties and, or nervous about things, but I always know it'll be all right. I don't know why. I was brought up on fairy tales. I mean, I suppose, I do like the underdog. I do like the story of Cinderella. I do like the story of A Christmas Carol. I do like the meek will inherit the earth. Actually, the geek will inherit the earth.
All right. Well, I keep hearing that whenever I click on videos that talk about the difference between American and British humor. It's always the same pretty much. It's when they talk about American comedy, they always talk about optimism, and then when they talk about British comedy, they always root for the guys who really you think have no chance in hell, which I like. I like it a lot. That's probably why I like British comedy so much over the past couple of years. It's just just between you and me, and I've said it before. When it comes to the shows on television, American comedy for me is here, and British comedy is fucking way up here. I just think it's done so much better. And people have asked me to recommend American shows since I'm watching all these British shows. People have asked me to recommend American shows, and honestly, I struggle to come up with some that I think that you guys would like, because there's not a lot that I like. But to defend American comedy a little bit, I do believe that maybe not in the last few years, but over decades, American comedy films, that you'd have to go see in the theater. I think American comedy films, if you put them up next to British comedy films, I think they're right there battling it out for the top spot. I think they're neck and neck. American comedy films are just so good. I could recommend a ton of American comedy films to you guys. But again, television shows, we're here, you guys are here. The films, it's like neck and neck. You could have an endless debate for days on end about which is better, and you could probably it doesn't matter which side you're on, you could probably convince me that you're right. So there's that. But yes, with this the difference between the humor, it's kind of the same with every person that I've clicked a video on. American comedy, there's the sense of optimism, and then the lead character gets what he wants most of the time, and then with English comedy, he doesn't get he never gets what he wants. Which I think makes for better comedy in when it comes to endings and stuff. I've also noticed that with American comedy, I don't want to see, unless it's a comedy film, but if it's a television show, I don't ever want to see an American comedy character get the girl, or boss people around, or and we do have that. But anyway, I'm talking too long, taking up too much of your time. Hope you enjoyed the reaction. Ricky Gervais, again, he's probably my number one from across the pond. Not everybody else thinks so, but I've been a huge fan of his for over a decade. I love the man. And anything, if there's anything out there of Ricky Gervais that I haven't seen, I will check it out. So, for those of you who've recommended shows like Extras and things, which Extras is my favorite Ricky Gervais production of all time, chances are I've seen it. But anyway, hope you have a good day, Boomerites. Stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everybody.